Welcome to the Brasileiro podcast, and I just want to give everyone an update on Fred. As you know, he's had that long injury that kept him out 6 months, and he's just been coming back with Fluminense. And he's been playing against small competition in the Carioca. And when he first started off, he was looking pretty bad. And the fans are starting to turn against him. Fluminense fans are protesting him. They're saying he's not giving it his all, and they're saying he's overpaid. But I've actually seen some improvement over him in the last few weeks. And Scolari and Pereira seem really comfortable with Fred and his progress. Fred recently scored a goal against Horizonte in the Copa do Brasil, and yeah, they're not a great side, but it was in a really must-win game at the Maracanã, and he did what he needed to do. And he has looked sharper. Even in the friendly, you guys could see how good his link-up play was, and I think Brazil truly plays better with that prototypical old-school number 9. Park his ass in the box, have him there at all times to pounce on any loose balls, crosses, and also be a guy who can link up play. I heard Tim Vickery say on the World Football Phone-In a few weeks ago that Fred is instrumental because he links up play, and it's easier for guys like Nilmar and Oscar to link up and also get forward with Fred because he brings him into play, and I completely agree because Fred has a phenomenal touch of the ball, and very few can do what he does. And I know people don't really like Fred because he's not one to pull off a 30-yard run or a 30-yard dribble move, and he's not one, to score goals outside the box, but he can score goals, and that's something that the other Brazilian number 9s really can't do. And I know a lot of people are clamoring for Joe, of course, and he's going to be a backup if he stays healthy, and you guys know I don't really love that, but at the end of the day, Scolari doesn't really have that many choices, and I think Scolari feels he can definitely trust Joe. And Joe's form has been pretty good in the Libertadores. I've been getting on Joe because his form at the end of last year's Brasileirão, and as you guys could see in the World Club Cup, it was pretty poor. But like I said, he's gotten better this year so far. So those are probably going to be the two number 9s. I don't think Scolari is going to take any more than that. And then here's another. Here's a few other names for some thought. Hernane from Flamengo. He's definitely lost some steam. He picked up an injury, and Flamengo got eliminated from the Libertadores. But I don't know how many better poachers there are than him in the world right now. And I know people are going to say I'm crazy for saying such things, but I think that's honestly true. And then, of course, there's Walter, who's also in Rio, and he plays for Fluminense, and I believe we're going to see him come on and maybe get a spot in training camp. Walter's the guy we got to watch right now because he's just started to solidify a starting position with Fluminense paired with Fred, and I think Walter, if we're looking at all these number 9s, and I'm even including Fred, he has the most potential and technical skill. Walter, he is a little bit fat, but he is really quick, and he is really talented, and his technical ability, it's hard to explain. It's almost like he's a number 10 in a striker's body. He can do so many things, and he's honestly an excellent passer of the ball. Is he what the Seleção needs? I don't know. But if we're going by merit, he should be the first guy off the bench rather than Joe. But I think Scolari's looking for a guy like Joe. And other than those names, I don't really know anyone besides Diego Costa, and we already know how that went. And about the Diego Costa situation, yeah, I'm really bothered by it, but now that I've read and done more research on him and his life in Sergipe, I kind of understand why he chose Spain over Brazil, and I think it takes a lot of guts on his part, especially if you consider the World Cup's going to be in Brazil, and you got to have some thick skin to put yourself in that cauldron, in that thermostat of extended pressure, but I like what he's going to do for Spain, and I think Diego Costa is going to have a great World Cup. It's just a shame he's not going to be available for the Seleção. But other than that, I can't think of any guys. I was even trying to research Nilmar's form, and there's a guy, Roberto Firmino, for Hoffenheim, but both seem very unlikely, and Scolari's not even keeping an eye on either, so it's kind of pointless for us to even think about such things.